Hello everybody, this is Linda and I'm back to show you my latest project I've been working on for a couple of days. It's a fabric loaded envelope and I'm going to show you what I used to make it out of. And then we'll talk about the embellishments and decorations. So I'm going to just move it aside for a minute, and this is what I used. A placemat that came from the Dollar Tree, and I think I got it around Christmas time. It's got, looks like, whatever you call it, poinsettias flowers on it, but you can't see it when it gets done anyway. So, and this one has something on it, but that doesn't matter either because it's going to be cut off. But anyway, so what I did was I took the envelope, the 6x9, and I laid it in here like this. Then I folded it over like this, and I glued this down with hot glue. Then I folded this over, and I glued that down with hot glue. And after that, I glued in here. I did it twice. I did it here, and then I did it here on this side so that it had a strong, strong hold. And then I cut off about this much, just about to where this is at, right here. And I can show you that. I cut it off right there. So that was the one that I cut off to make my pocket. So that made my pocket, and then I just slid the envelope out, and there it was. Okay, so that's how I made my envelope. So now, after I did that, and I'll put this back over here, I used this fabric here, and I made me a pocket right there. And then I used, this is the last of that I have of this little dotted netting here. Loved that. Came off of a dress. Anyway, that's how I made my pocket, and I also used this trim here, and then I ran this down the center of it. That was my pocket. I had that all ready to go. And then I decided that I needed to cover my placemat. So I hadn't put my pocket on yet. I just had it ready. And I don't have any of the lace left that I used here, but it was a lace that came off of an old blouse that I found at the Goodwill, and I covered it with that on the front and on the back. Covered the whole thing. So then, after I got that done, you know what? I'm going to take this stuff out. I think I will. I'll take it all out, and then we'll talk about that later. Okay? Hold on a second. Let me get it all out. That's it. Okay. So I got it all covered, except for a little bit right here, and right here is not covered because I used this applique from the wedding dress. But the inside right here, I did cover with a piece of white satin, and then I trimmed it out with this this lace, and it's this. And I got this from Marilyn G here on YouTube. Thank you, Marilyn, very much. I love that lace. And okay. And then I used some wedding dress trim to trim it out here and here. And I used my Copic marker, and this is R81 Rose Pink. and I just colored around the edges of the applique. And it works really well for that. But I wanted some pink at the top. And so I used that. Then I just used, I don't know, just a little piece of trim that I had here. And I don't know where it came from. Probably Walmart or Hobby Lobby. That's where I get most of my trims. So it came from either one of those places. I know that both of these trims came from Hobby Lobby. And then I trimmed it with this little heart trim. And I said before that I thought I got this from Hobby Lobby, but you know, I think I got this at the thrift store. I'm pretty sure that I did. It's got glue strings all over it. Okay, anyway, I think that I got it at the thrift store. So anyway, that takes care of all the trims. This was a piece of a napkin that I had, and it was one of the big cloth napkins, and I just cut the square out of it here on the corner. Each placemat had one of these on the corner. I cut this out and I put it on here and made another pocket here, and then I had this on, and that made a pocket. I hope I'm making sense. I'm kind of jumping all over. These little flowers came from a piece of trim that I have that is green, and I don't have it out. I'm not even sure if I have any more of it. But every so far, it had one of these little flowers with the leaves, and I just fussy cut the flower and the leaves out. Put one on each side here. And yeah, so that's the front. And then on the back, I just used a doily that I had, and I folded it over. And hold on a minute. I'll show you what I used on the inside there. I have them right here. I used one of these. I only have 2 left, and I don't know where I got them, from eBay. And I just laid it down over some of this fabric and cut it out and glued it down, and then put some bead trim around it. So that's how I did that. And then I had this trim that I probably have a piece about that long left is all. And I put it around here. And then I used that same trim, the pink, all the way around the edges because I wanted them to be finished off. So, and then in here I just threw some, I think a card would be nice back here. But I really didn't make this for anybody. I just wanted to make one. So I'm just sort of picked up just grabbed some things to stick in here just to show you all the pockets. So I just put some of this bling in there. And then on this side, I had stuffed some trims down in this pocket. I mean, you know, you could do a lot of things. It's a pretty good sized pocket. You could put a lot of stuff in it. I just put that in there, and then I had made this this very tiny little notebook, which I may have shown. I don't know if I did or not, but it's just a little tiny notebook that I had made at some point, and so I stuck that in. And I really just wanted to see how much space was in there, and there's quite a bit. So I kind of just stuck that in like this. And I had printed out some images. So I just put them in a little pocket, one of the little, the size for ATCs, the bag. And I clipped on one of these little clothespins that I had gotten from Lee. in my winnings last week. I just think they're so pretty. And I thought it matched quite well with the fabric and all that I have on here. And then I have this big paper clip that I'm pretty sure I got from Christy. She's Twins for Me Too here on YouTube, that she sent me a long time ago. And I thought that looked pretty there. So thank you, Christy. I finally have a use for it. And then I made 2 of these little wands because you can't have a pocket. You can't have a loaded envelope without some wands. And I used a little bit of that dotted netting here on this side and a little cutout from a doily connector, and a little, what do you call those little, I don't know, I can't remember what you call those little flowers, yo-yo flowers, I think. I put a little one of those on and put a want to scrap pearl in the center. Then on this side I used a flower that I made a long time ago. It's kind of shabby and tattered, and I liked it, and I just stuck an earring in the middle of it. And so I had that in here, which you could, it's kind of hard to put in because, I'll tell you why. I bought these straws and they're too bright. I didn't like them because they were too bright. So I used some chalk paint, and I just took my finger and rubbed it on it, covered up all the pink, and then I sprayed it with some Lindy's cotton candy spray. But anyway, it made it a little rough, a little hard to put it in, but there you go. And then this one, same thing. I used the chalk paint, and while it was wet, I sprinkled some Rangers, Tim Holtz, I guess, the dry glitter on it, just to sparkle it up. And on this side, I used this, where is it? I have a little tiny piece of it left. This trim, it's a little stretchy trim that I got from Walmart, and wouldn't you know, they don't have any more. I hope they get some more because I really like it. It's just a little netting, but I like it. And I used that, and then I used some appliques from one of my wedding dresses, and I just used the leaves and just kind of stuck them around part way. And then I put a flower on, and I think this flower might have came from Michael's. I didn't make it. And then I just took some beads and some trims and some fibers and stuck up under there and glued it down. And then on this side, you can see the trim again. And I used a doily, a green doily, and another one of those little flowers. This is a little small doily. And then I just stuck a little bit of bead trim, a little netting, and a pearl from Want to Scrap. And that's it. That's my wand, and that's my loaded envelope. Let me get it back in. It's a little big to try to handle it when it's laying down. So put that back in there. It's stuck on something. There we go. And yeah, so that is it. That's my loaded envelope. I hope you enjoyed seeing it, and I hope that everything's in frame because it was kind of big and I can't see what I'm doing, so I don't know if I'm in frame or not, but I hope I was. So anyway, thanks for watching, and give this a try. Go get you a placemat and make yourself one out of fabric. It was fun. I enjoyed it very much. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye now.